Donald Trump is panicking as Iran has rejected Donald Trump's ceasefire request. Donald Trump sent Iraq's Prime Minister Ali al-Zedi to meet with Iran's President Pezeshkian and Foreign Minister. Trump was begging for a ceasefire. Iran said absolutely not. The New York Times is also confirming this. Iran on Thursday rejected a ceasefire proposal from Donald Trump that was carried to Tehran by the Iraqi Prime Minister. According to both Iranian and Iraqi officials, this has separately been confirmed by U.S. officials. The failed mediation effort came as Donald Trump is now threatening to escalate the war even more. This is happening at the same time the markets tang today. Oil is now over $100 per barrel crude. That is, the 10-year, 20-year, 30-year Treasury note yields are at record highs. Mortgage rates are soaring. The price per gallon of gas, as you know, is surging. Very difficult, catastrophic economic situation here. So Donald Trump sent the Iraqi Prime Minister, who was in Iran today, to beg for a ceasefire, and Iran said, nope, we've got Trump and the United States right where we want them. We want them to pay. They pulled out of the Memorandum of Understanding. We have no interest in doing a deal with them. We don't trust them. Iran's Foreign Minister Aragchi says that Iran and the U.S. already had enough mediators. We don't need a new one. And the Iraqi Prime Minister. The problem is not the passing of messages, says Iranian Foreign Minister Aragchi. The problem is America's outlook, which is illogical, greedy, and controlling. Two Iranian officials say Iran is preparing to expand the war significantly if Donald Trump strikes critical infrastructure. The United States indeed launched its 13th consecutive night of strikes this evening after Iran rejected Donald Trump, begging for a ceasefire. The strikes were significant. However, it was not as big as the night before, which is interesting. A lot of people are saying that the U.S. is running out of munitions right now, that Donald Trump and Hexeth have handled this, or I should say mishandled this, so much that they don't even have the ability to escalate that much any further at this point. But there were some serious strikes. I don't want to downplay the severity of it. There was about 35 strikes in the past hour and a half. Now, this also comes at a time where dozens of United States Air Force cargo planes, C-17s, and other heavy lifts can be seen flying from European bases to the Middle East. Today, there's a full-scale air bridge reactivated right now, which hasn't been seen since the beginning of this catastrophic war. Should also be noted that on Thursday, the Defense Department is now deleting the death, the killed in action, and injured in action numbers from the website. We've been talking about this now, in our reports about 3 or 4 days ago. We said they're deleting the casualty numbers. I see them manipulating the casualty numbers on their web. I saw them deleting it. They were deleting it. So they downgraded the killed in action from 18 to 14, and they reduced the injured in action by 20 as well, because the Trump regime is saying that the recent deaths did not take place during epic fury, that Trump did a ceasefire, so epic fury ended and that was a different war, and that this is something else right now. So they're deleting the killed in action numbers. And this follows Donald Trump at Do Delaware, where Donald Trump said that he lied, and what else is new? But he said that the troops who were killed, that their final words before dying basically was that they didn't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. I mean, how sick and disgusting for Donald Trump to just make stuff up. About service members who got killed in action. Now, Iranian sources are also claiming that Iran destroyed U.S. HIMARS, those missiles that they shoot from the ground in northern Kuwait. You can see some footage right here as well. Iran currently is conducting strikes over Kuwait and Jordan. We know that's taking place as I am recording this. According to an exclusive report today from CBS citing U.S. officials who spoke on a condition of anonymity, the rate at which the United States is expending some of its most advanced air defense interceptors and precision-guided weapons in the Middle East is a point of great tension inside the Trump regime. Dwindling stockpiles of defensive interceptors and long-range missiles, including stocks of the Army Tactical Missile System. The ATACMS, as they're called, have become a major pressure point for top military officials, and we're running out of munitions. The strategic reserves have hit tank bottom. Crude likely will hit $120, $150 a barrel pretty soon. It's already over $100 a barrel. Iran knows they've got the United States right where they want them. Earlier today, MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader, was mocking Donald Trump, saying, 10 of 10 move, Donald. Right now we're watching your gas prices surge, we're watching your interest rates rise, we're watching your markets crash. Well done, Donald. At the same time, Donald Trump asked the Iraqi Prime Minister to beg Iran for a deal. Again, how pathetic is it that that's what Donald Trump is doing? Especially Donald Trump, they want to make a deal so badly. Trump posted the following recently. Please let this statement serve to reprise what he just posted. Please let this statement serve to represent until further notice that from this point forth, any and all damages done to ships, cargo, or anything related thereto will be paid for by Iranian money that the United States has in its possession and controls. These damages may be very substantial, but nevertheless, this is the fair and equitable thing to do. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, didn't you say that if Iran strikes tankers that all hell will break loose or something like that? Or that you'll unleash hell on them and that you will blow up their bridges and power plants? And so now you're saying you're going to take their money. As this Just Dario account explains, Trump must have forgot that he promised that the money would have been spent by Iran to buy wheat, corn, soybeans, and other produce from U.S. farmers because the country was starving. Logically speaking, U.S. farmers won't see much of that money anymore. While Iran doesn't care, satellite images are currently showing that Iran has built back its infrastructure fast after the Trump destruction. Iran repaired a bridge that Israel struck with 3 bombs within days, surprising Israeli officials and prompting them to question the effectiveness of their targeting at the beginning of the war. And now you see Trump destroy something, they build it back right away, and while they're focusing on executing a very tactical plan, Donald Trump is doing his deranged, whatever you want to call it, where he's speaking in Georgia and all these places doing his YMCA dance. It is so utterly weird. More satellite surveillance photos showing U.S. military housing structures that were destroyed recently. But Trump claimed today Iran really wants to make a deal. They're begging for a deal. When Donald Trump said this, what we didn't know at this time, although we knew that he was desperate, that he sent the Iraqi prime minister to ask for a ceasefire, and Iran was rejecting it. Here's what Trump said. We're doing very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. If we did all this that I'm talking about your data centers, isn't that important? When they start blowing away communities, one by one, we cannot let them ever even think about having a nuclear weapon. And that's exactly what's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon under my presidency. Earlier today, Marco Rubio, when he was at the ASEAN conference in South Asia, Rubio's like, Iran's begging us for deals every day. They really want to do a deal so badly. They beg us all of the time. Notably, Rubio was talking about the Trump regime that now has gone to another mediator, Iraq. I guess Qatar doesn't want anything to do with this anymore. Pakistan can't do anything. You know why Pakistan? Pakistan has a defense treaty with Saudi Arabia at this point. So Pakistan has been neutered as a mediator. They're gone. Qatar doesn't really want to be involved anymore because they realize that they want to try to figure out how they could work with Iran more closely so Iran doesn't blow up the oil field there if the United States blows up Iranian infrastructure. So Qatar is worried about, its oil fields right now. They're freaking out. So Donald Trump goes to the Iraqi guy who Trump was saying was good looking and had that guy try to deliver the ceasefire. And if you know this Iraqi prime minister, he was a compromised pick that the U.S. really wanted in there, and the U.S. thought they could manipulate. Iran thinks that they could manipulate him. Al-Maliki, the guy who Iran wants, was pushed aside by the United States. So Iran doesn't really trust this guy in Iraq. But he is still someone who, saw the millions of people show up in Iraq and how powerful the Shia community is in Iraq. So Donald Trump tried to get that guy, but he's that guy's weak. I think everybody knows al-Zidi, is not strong. But Trump sent al-Zidi, and al-Zidi was not able to do it. Again, how utterly embarrassing. And now on state regime media, which calls itself Fox, they're out there talking about war crimes that they want to commit. What should Trump hit first? Should we take out the nuclear plant, or should we take out that power grid? Well, if we take out that power grid, 40% of electricity gets cut off to Tehran. And if we take out the nuclear power plant, that could be bad. There's no question. Now, the South Pars gas field, this sits on the largest natural gas field in the world. Israeli forces hit this on March 18th in the beginning of the war. Iran responded by hitting the Qatari side of this natural gas field in terms of targets. But let me ask you here, this is the Strait dot. Yeah, we want to send a message in the Strait where they're hitting ships in the Strait. Wouldn't that be a place we go dot? It would. The only question is, what would be Iran's response? We've seen Iran hit back in Qatar's oil field, natural gas oil fields in the UAE. That's the big thing. It is notable that U.S. forces hit an Iranian barracks after an American barracks was hit, of course, in Jordan. That's what killed those three U.S. Army. So this is the power plants that we could be. This is the big one. It'd be like Chernobyl on. They'd be like Chernobyl on steroids. So Marco Rubio leaves by saying, "I hear that Araghchi, Iran's foreign minister, wants an eye for an eye. I want their head for an eye. Hey, you're out of munitions, idiot. You're a loser, and you have brought the United States into a catastrophic war that the U.S. is losing. You loser, it's a regime of losers, and now you're begging for ceasefires while acting tough. Iran knows how desperate you are behind the scenes. Who's your audience? The 30% of MAGA that still supports this crap. Who is this directed to? Because the whole international community knows Rubio and Trump and Hegseth and this whole clown show regime is weak and pathetic and desperate. And you could claim all you want that Iran is begging for this. They know the reality. They know how pathetic it looks when you're up there saying this crap. And in the end, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, everybody.